Can you hear me now? Hopefully, no. Thumbs down. Can you hear me now? Anybody? I did earlier live stream. I was trying some things out, so um, just double checking here and see. That's my volume levels here. So good now. Okay, so I'm good now. Just double checking because there's a delay. Can you hear me, everybody? Anyway. Yes. Okay. All right. We're good now. So, yeah, I tried doing something earlier with the live stream so I could watch it with you guys on the Lightning, and so we're good now. Okay. So I figured out what I did wrong. So I tried shutting the audio off here and getting it on the screen, and I think that messed it up. So all right, we're good to go. So let's start that over again. So welcome everybody to the live stream. This is a beautiful Tuesday here in Kansas. It's about 72 degrees and nice and beautiful here. So hope everybody's having great weather where they're at. I, of course, want to welcome in all the people in the live stream, especially my members that are members to the Law McArthur crew. I do appreciate them. I did a video earlier today just to thank them for being members and such. And just think we have a great community there. So if you want to be a member, don't forget you can find down, if you look down on there, right where you subscribe, hit your notification bell right there. There's a join button there. If you click on that, you can learn more information about that. Or there's a link in the description that takes us to our homepage, and this could be right under the banner there. So also, if you're not subscribed, not sure why, surely all of you are subscribed, but if you're not subscribed, you can just hit that red subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That alerts you and lets you know that there's we've gone live for a video on like your phone and such like that. You can set up my email if you want to. So just want to remind you that. Also, we are going to be casting this out as a podcast, so audio format. So I'll have to cut some of the audio out since there was no audio for a while. But you can, if you want, you can check it out on your favorite streaming network. I did find it on my Amazon Music was in there. I was on there this weekend mowing, and I was like, hey, I wonder if my stream's in there. Yep, it's in there. It's on all the different streaming networks. If you want, you can also find it on our website at lawmacarthur.com/FordVideoGuy. So if you want to kind of listen, maybe you just have a chance just to get part of it tonight, you can come back. You can listen to the Q&A and such another time if you want. Feel free to do that. So, and if you are listening to the podcast, come on over, check out the live stream in person. What's on the link is down in the description for the video format if you want to, because I do have a couple clips, photos that might come in handy if you do watch it on YouTube. Also, don't forget, if you have any questions, email addresses are down there. I did spend some time, of course, Monday night I stay up a little bit later because I come in later. And so I do, because of that, I stay up late and I answer questions. So I answered a bunch of emails last night. Trying to get, there's some weeks where I do a great job and I'm not as busy and I'm able to keep on with those daily. Sometimes I'm not. Jenny, thank you for being a Law McArthur crew member. So I think you'll appreciate it. And don't forget, if you are new to the membership, we do give you a free gift when you first become a member. You want to make sure you send us your email address or your mailing address so we can get that out to you. Also, this last week we had the 22 Ford Explorer King Ranch video went live. Link is down in the description if you want to check that video out. And we have a couple of videos in the works. The 22 Bronco Sport Big Bend that should be done and go live tomorrow. We have our complete guide on that, as well as I did one on the 22 Ford Ranger XLT trim, which included the Splash package. We have one in the vehicle I used has the Splash edition on it. So we have one on that too, and we will be doing live stream on Thursday over on Facebook, 6 p.m. Central Time. There, link for that is in the description as well. And don't forget, check out our Facebook group that we created. If you are on Facebook, all things Maverick, the Law McArthur link to that Facebook group is in the description as well. Or you can just find us, and we'll be putting any information that we have on Maverick is going to go into that group. That's the first place we're going to drop it before we drop it anywhere else. So it's right there. So let's get into some scheduling information this week. And of course, I did mention when I was muted, I was mentioning about our topic because I think tonight's topic is going to be very informative. Hopefully I can give you guys some information. I've seen a lot of stories this last several weeks. People have been sending me, what can I do when dealers are marking up my custom order? I wait and wait and wait, and then it comes in and they want to mark it up. So hopefully I got some things that we can, you may not be able to help you get the dealership to honor your MSRP price, but some things for people that are looking to order one or maybe have one on order now of some things they can do to try to help those in the future. So let's learn from our what's happened in the past of some other people and their experiences to help us for those that are ordering in the future. So if they're ordering, especially we have a big list of people that are wanting and excited to get the 22 Maverick. They're going to go through that same trials and tribulations that you guys did. So hopefully we can teach them in this video of what not to do or what to do to help them to make sure their dealership can, and they get honored the price that when they order the vehicle. So we're going to talk about that here in about 22 minutes here. So scheduling this week, there's not a lot scheduling this week. We do have our wholesale meeting on Thursday, which means that allocations, most dealerships have used most of their allocations so far this month, so there's not a lot in there. So anyway, so here's what is scheduling this week. Mustang is scheduling, and I like to share with you guys if we have any allocations in case you have an order with us. We do not have any Mustang allocations left. Mach-E is scheduling this week. Again, 0 allocations there. Edge is scheduling this week. We have allocations on the Edge, but looks like we don't have any that are previewing this week. Explorer is scheduling this week, and we have 0 previewing for Explorer. I think we don't have any allocations, in fact, on that one. And something for you to know on the Explorer is that the 22 order banks are closing this Thursday. So I think I'm hopefully mentioned it last week. I can't remember if I found out. I think I found out last week, but just another reminder for this week. Explorer order banks for 22 model year are closing on Thursday. So if you're wanting a 22 Explorer, you need to get your order in. So keep that in mind. Expedition is scheduling this week. We do have 2 allocations. A couple are previewing to complete our allocations this week. And another note on Expedition, the order bank for Expedition 22 model year is closing on Friday of this week. So this Friday. So if you thought about getting an Expedition, again, just like with Explorer, get that order in. Maverick is scheduling this week. We don't have any allocations. We used all of ours in the first couple weeks. F1 Ranger is also scheduling this week. We have 0 allocations. What's scheduling this week for Ranger is actually that Splash Package Forest Edition. That's what's scheduling. So if a dealership has an allocation for that, we had one ours scheduled last week. If they didn't get scheduled, then they'll get scheduled this week. That's what'll happen there. Also something to note on the Ranger, 22 Ranger order bank also closes this Friday. So when you think about that, there's a lot of models that are closing out. That means there's so many people ordering and getting those orders in. So if you're looking at getting a vehicle, you better start making decisions, because when it comes to 22, they are going to start closing up. I mean, I have my list here that you can look at. Well, let's finish out the scheduling, and then we'll kind of maybe talk a little bit about that before we move on. Lightning, a little fact on, or actually before we get into Lightning, F-150 is scheduling this week. We do have 2 that are previewing and 2 that's supposed to schedule, which means we're going to have some more probably get scheduled next week. And then on the Lightning, so they did a Lightning launch today. Lightning, anybody that has a Wave 6 invite, the deadline is Friday. So here's what has to happen. So if you have a Wave 6 invite and you have not completed your order, or you've not extended it to 23, then you need to do that by Friday, or you will lose your reservation. It doesn't just sit in there. You have to say yes or no, or yes or extend it by Friday. So I want to really emphasize that. So if you have a Wave 6 invite, you need to either order, if you want a Lariat or a Platinum, go ahead and fulfill that order, complete that order by Friday. Or if you're wanting the Pro or XLT version, which are closed out, you need to make sure you go in there and extend it and say, this is why I want to extend it, because it's a Pro version or it's an XLT, and that's what I want. You pick those, and that gets extended to 23. What'll happen is if you extend it, then that invite will be there for 23 production. If you don't do either one of those and you just leave it in there, you will lose it altogether. In their mind, it's that you decided you didn't want it. So you want to make sure you do that. One of the things we did find out this week is that you can transfer a reservation on a Lightning from one dealership to another. They told us if that dealership if you have an invite and Wave 6 invite and you reserve and you switch over to a new dealer, if that dealer doesn't have allocations, you're not supposed to be able to complete your order. Don't think that's true, because we had someone that switched over on Monday and they went in, submitted their order. We were able to accept the order, and that order is now sitting in our order banks, and we got a door sheet on that vehicle today. So we do know that you can complete that order even if you switch over to a new dealer. The one thing we don't know is how soon that order will get scheduled. We don't know if it'll be scheduled as a 22, or because we have no allocations, if it'll end up being a early or one of the first 23s. But like I told somebody, I said, well, you're better off going ahead and submit that order, because they wanted a Lariat, which is available. Submit that order, and then let's see what happens. See if it gets scheduled as a 22. If not, then you're to 23. And the reason these two particular customers, we have another one that's doing the same thing. The reason they switched over to us is because, like we're going to talk about in our topic in 17 minutes now, is that their dealer was going to mark up their Lightning. At least they found out now, before they submitted the order. They found out they're going to mark it up. One was going to mark it up $5,000 on them over MSRP, the other $10,000 over MSRP. I even contacted Ford Corporate and said, hey, I'm trying to help these customers out. Is there something that we can do? Can you not tie the dealer to the MSRP? And they said, nope, unfortunately, we cannot. There's nothing we can do, Ford Corporate can even do, because they are all independent. We'll talk more about that in here in just a little bit. But so they wanted to come over to us. They were willing to wait until 23 to get one at MSRP. But one of them, they were able to complete their order. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you're completing that order, or you're extending the order to 23, so that way you don't lose it. All right. Super Duty is scheduling this week. 5 allocations is what we have. 5 that are previewing. Looks like will get scheduled. Transit is getting scheduled. We have 0. Transit Connect and Wagon is also scheduling. We have 0. Nautilus, Aviator, and Navigator are scheduling this week. Not Corsair. Of course, Corsair and Escape go together, so we're not seeing Escape getting scheduled. We don't have any allocations for any of those 3 models in there. So, of course, we don't. That's because we don't have any Lincoln orders in right now. So, all right. So, want to get to some Ford news and such. I do, in the description, I have a link to an article by Ford Authority, pretty decent article about the FordPass Performance App. So on the Bronco, one of the big things, and I've been waiting for this too, that was really kind of announced is that you're going to have this great app that you can go into. You can see all the different trails around. You can upload do your own videos and go in and dash cam videos and different things like that, and upload them to this. It's going to be a cool app and everything. The problem is that right now that app's not even going yet. I mean, we're into getting midway through 22. We have not seen that app available yet. They said they're still working on it. They're going to have it going, but at this point in time, that app is not available yet. So it's supposed to be located in our FordPass app. So I'm looking forward to that. But little article in there, Ford Authority, if you want to read that article. Another article. This last week, we did see the reveal of the Lincoln Star EV concept. The reason that's a concept and not a particular vehicle is what their goal there was to let people know that Lincoln is going to invest, and they are going to focus in on electrified vehicles and full electric vehicles. And so that was a concept there. There may, here, let me show you some images of those. Go on over here. There you go. So there's an image that was released. So those LED light there, the Lincoln Star on the front of the grill and everything. So this is concept. Some of this stuff might make it over to production. We'll just see. There's what the back is going to look like. But this also is bringing a branding of several electrified vehicles that Lincoln's going to share. So I do have a link in the description as well for this article by Ford Authority with more information about this. So not sure whether or not these slide outs are going to come to production, or maybe the suicide doors. They don't call them suicide doors. I don't remember what they call them. But anyway, I don't know if those will hit production or not. But some of the things in here will probably hit production. You see that full across the dash. That's a full screen there coming across. So I could see that possibly hitting. The flooring, may see carpet instead of, aluminum flooring and such. Maybe not so many lights and LEDs inside, just because that takes power. But we could see some of the stuff coming to production. The seats will probably be more comfortable, of course, than what they look like here. So there's kind of an opening. I don't know if you could see that back seat there, but it does have a thing where you can, put your feet up, because Lincoln's really big in China, and a lot of people over there, what they want is they want to be driven around in their Lincoln vehicle, and so they're kind of catering to that those people and those buyers as well there. So anyway, um, there you go. So that was there's an article down there if you want to read that article from Ford Authority. Didn't have as many images as I showed there. I got those from Ford Media, Lincoln Media there for that. But all right, I want to talk about a few things about, and I'll get to your questions in a little bit. So if you do drop your questions right now, I'm not really paying attention too much to the chat right now because I want to cover this and I want to try to keep on the times that I put out there for you. But I will come back to these questions. So when I'm ready to take those questions, make sure you drop those questions down, just like you're tagging me right there. Appreciate that. And I'll get into these questions here in just a little bit here. Now on the a couple things I want to talk about for price protection. So some people have asked me, what about XPlan? How does the price protection work on XPlan? Because my dealer is telling me they can't honor the price protection on an XPlan. So you can. Our Ford rep did tell us how that works. So I'm going to kind of run down and see if I can explain this well. So let's say and I'm going to show you a couple examples, and I have one that's on order. There's one on order right now, but the invoice isn't created on it yet because it hasn't been built. So right now you can't pull it. So I pulled one that came as close as I could to it. So here is, I don't know if you can see that because it's small on my screen. So I'm going to enlarge this here real quick. So hopefully you can see that. But this is a Dora sheet on a vehicle that's on order. It is an XLT hybrid with the Copilot 360. Now, Copilot 360, as well as the XLT base price itself, did go up since the price protection. So this one here was ordered back in July. You can see it's $22,280, and then the Copilot 360 is $540. So what somebody would do is if they need to, let's say this person gets X plan, you wouldn't have, and if you didn't order it originally as an X plan, if you order originally as an X plan, it's easy. It would show the X plan on the Dora, and you go by that price. But if they didn't order as X plan, but now they can get X plan when it comes in, then what you do is you take the invoice price, which on this case is that right column, that 23,890. You take that invoice price, and then they take that price off of the invoice from the order when it was ordered. And then now you can see this is kind of a copy of one that came in. It'll be a higher price. So then you take the invoice from this one. So in this case, it is 24,073 because this one actually had a hitch on it. So I took that price off, and I see it crossed through there and wrote those in there. So 24,073. So you would subtract that. So you subtract the 24,073, the invoice price on the new invoice when it came in. You subtract it from the original one, which is 23,890. You take that amount and you subtract that amount from the X plan on the new invoice, which is down there at the bottom. You can see the plan pricing. So 24,344. You would subtract the difference from that amount, and now you would have your price protected X plan. So that's how you would honor that for a dealer to do that. So hopefully maybe this helps out. Maybe this gets you guys some information that you can share to your dealers how to do that. Basically, you would take, if you got an X plan after it came in, you can still get that X plan price. How they would want to come up with that price and how you get to that is your invoice. You normally take the X plan from that invoice, and that would be your price. Well, since it should be lower, you take that difference in the invoices, you subtract that from your X plan. That is your price protected X plan amount. So keep that in mind. Now, I've had a lot of people say, my dealer's saying they can't honor it because it's not showing anything in Smart Vincent. There's no rebate. It's not a rebate. It's price protection, means you just honor the price that originally was there, and Ford will reimburse you that difference. And if you're not sure, contact the Ford rep and say, hey, I want to make sure on this deal that I'm going to get my money back from honoring that price protection. They can do that. So just have them contact their Ford rep. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is I only have a couple minutes here, is the Smart Vincent sheets. So we've talked about that. Smart Vincent is where you pull the incentives. So somebody asked, and something I didn't know was about on a lease. Can you price protect a lease? And yes, you can. So you can, and I'm actually going to share my screen over here with you. Where is it? There we go. Let me pull that screen up. I had it over here. Give me a second. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen over here. If I can get to it. Give me a second. I'm having some technical difficulties today. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so this is a Smart Vincent. So this is where you would find your rebates and incentives and everything. So as you can tell right here, and I think you can see my cursor on there. Yeah, I think you should be able to see my cursor on there, hopefully. Right under there, there's a little thing that says incentive protected to August 4th, 2021 based on order date. So this person ordered on August 4th, 2021. So it is in that first section where it says vehicle information, because I don't think you can see my cursor. Not sure if you can or not. Anyway, there's my cursor. So you can see incentive protected to August 4, 2021. That is the date. So you'll honor that. To do that, if you go down here to where it says the sales information under the customer category, right there, if they want a lease, you take off the retail. They want to do an RCO. There's the sale date. So I'm going to actually show you the incentives from that. Right? So that way you can, okay, and it's not giving me any information. Oh, I have to refresh it. Let me try this again. Let me go back. I had it loaded and so now we have to use a different VIN number. Let's try this again. Sorry about that. So I guess it took too long, so it didn't like that. Let me just pull. I do this an unorthodox way, so if you're from a dealer, don't worry about how I get there. I'll get there. All right, so here's one. So this one here is July 14th, so we're going to actually do a different one here. So July 14th was the original order date. We want to do an RCO, right? Here's the sale date. So I want to show you that it is different. So if I click on that, so you can see the residuals up here is for 24 months is 63, right? And then it doesn't oh, this must not be it doesn't show the lease rates. And that's probably because this must be an XL, not an XLT. Okay, but now let's go back. It's not showing it very good. It doesn't show any lease rates. So now we're going to go back to that, and instead of the sale date, we're going to pick the protect date. So that is under here. So you can see that cursor. We're going to do the protect date for that instead. So it's going to give us the date from July 14th. Now if we go down and we hit it, you'll notice that residual now is 64, and now we actually have some decent rates. So now we actually have rates. So you can lock in your lease rates from your protect date as well. So just wanted to kind of clarify and go through that with everybody so that you can see that right there. So there you go. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. So I kind of want to go over that with everybody. So I have 5 minutes. So now I want to kind of talk about the is it true? We'll come back to some other things I want to talk about in just a little bit, including that email that came out. You guys are probably asking about. But is it true this week? Somebody had posted on social media, and I actually had posted. I said, I really appreciate salespeople out there not doing their job. That gives me something for my content. I mean, they're just doing my work for me because they're giving me content. So this person posted in there that their dealer had told them that they said, has anyone else heard that it could be a year or two wait on the hybrid Mavericks due to them running out of motors? So, as we know, that is not true. We had almost 80 of ours, over 70 scheduled this month that were hybrids. So that is not true. So that they are producing vehicles. It is not going to take a year or two to wait for your vehicle. Some of you, it might be a year from when you originally ordered the vehicle, but they didn't start producing hybrids until December. So, really it's not a full year, but it's a full year since you put your reservation and your original order in. Yeah, that is not true whatsoever. But I appreciate, people putting things in there, and I just get on social media and it doesn't take me long to find an is it true for each week. And so that's one that I had for this week. So yes, they're producing Mavericks. Do not succumb to the talk and the gossip and such out there. If you're not sure, if you're like, "Oh, man, really? I can't believe that." If you're not sure, tag me in the post. If you're on Maverick Truck Club, I'm at Ford Video Guy there. Tag me so that I can jump on this and look at this. And there are some situations where it could be true, but in this case, it is not true. So now let me go back to I want to talk about, because I'm trying to keep to the timestamps there for people that are following along and wanting to watch the video and go to those certain spots. So I got a couple other things I want to talk about, and one of them is a rebate that has gone out. So there has been a rebate that was released that Ford sent out to some people that had been to some auto shows and different things like that, where it was $750 off if they ordered or took delivery by, I think it was like August or April 4th or something like that on some of the dates. Some of them are in May, and they're like, well, what if that expires and my vehicle's not here yet? Well, then you can't take that rebate. So basically within that window, after that offer came out and before it expires, you have to either had ordered a vehicle or taken delivery in that window. I kind of relate it to, like, if you get a coupon on the Sunday, in the Sunday newspaper, right? If you still get the newspaper, right? And you pull out the coupons, right? Those coupons went out on Sunday, right? So if you went to the grocery store and you got some milk on Saturday, and then the ad comes out Sunday and it's $1 cheaper, well, that'd be a big difference. But if it's cheaper, right, you're going to be upset because you should have waited until Sunday to do it. You can't go back in and get that one unless you're Walmart. I think Walmart honors it, but most places won't. And then also, if you wait until that date expires and try to go in, the offer is not good anymore. So I kind of relate it to that. Those coupons are going to go out sporadically, and another one might come out before you take delivery. It might come out, and be in the window. So keep looking for those different rebates that are offered. But that's usually how that'll work. So you have to either have ordered or taken delivery. So they have to use that Smart Vincent. That's where they find that rebate, is in Smart Vincent. They can tell whether or not you received that because it went out into the mail to you or you received it, and it has to be included in the bottom. Let me show you this back over here again. So it's going to be included down here in these eligible programs. Here's your Farm Bureau, your military, your college student, your first responder. Those other offers will be down here. And if it's a direct offer related to a certain person, when they go to put that person in there, then actually I probably don't want to do that, but when they put that in there, then you can find that whether or not you got a private offer and if it was available to you. So that's how that would typically work. So just kind of point that out. That's where they would find that information out for those. So we got 33 seconds here. We got one last thing I want to talk about. Actually, we're going to wait because it'll take longer than 30 seconds there. But anyway, so I do want to thank you. I want to I'll talk about these last couple things when it comes to the email that came out to Ford, and also how you can get your June, July orders scheduled. So something you can maybe talk to your dealers about, and maybe they can try that worked for us, and making sure those June, July orders get scheduled before the other orders are scheduled. All right, so this week's topic is dealer markups on orders. What can we learn from each other? So I've gotten several different emails, communications. I appreciate people reaching out to me. I will tell you this, there's not much I can do to help your dealer honor the pricing. I wish I could. I wish I had that much leverage, but I don't. I am just a dealership employee, and all I can worry about is and have control over is our dealership and what we do here at McArthur. Now, so a lot of people have, some people have asked, can they do that? If you did a buyer's order and you signed it and to hand back when you ordered your vehicle back in June, July, August, and now the vehicle's in, and now they're telling you it's going to be, well, there's a market adjustment of $5,000 now or $10,000 now. That's the price you're going to have to pay. Can they do that? Can they legally do that? And from what I understand from some people that are smarter than I am when it comes to legal matters, is if they didn't sign the buyer's order as well as you, then it's not legally binding, because they did not on their end basically sign off on the deal. So, you're saying, yeah, I'm okay with the prices, but then if the dealer didn't sign it to say, yes, I'm okay with the deal, this is good, then I don't think it works. So if you see that on there, then you really. Oh, I just noticed somebody posted in there. My wife jumped in the live stream, so it looks like Jaden, my grandson's watching the live stream. It just threw me off my game there. So, but anyway, so if he's watching, how you doing? So, it's the first live stream she's gotten in on. So anyway, so a couple weeks ago, when we had some bad weather, she said she was going to jump in and tell me to come home before it started to storm. But you legally, I think you can't do anything unless both people sign that agreement. So that is a way to make sure that when you get that, and I'll admit, we here at McArthur, we haven't signed it on our end. The managers don't always sign it. We do honor it, but legally, I don't think we'd have to, but we do because the way we look at things here at McArthur, we kind of have this saying that what would you do to your grandmother? That's what you do to our customers. So we treat them like it's our grandmother. Would we, not if we tell you told your grandma, yeah, grandma, I'm going to sell it to you for this, and then later down the road, well, no, grandma, I can get more for it than that. I'm not going to charge you that. I mean, we wouldn't do that, and so we don't do that as well. So that's just the way the way we do things. So now there is a couple things you can try to do to help out, and one of them is you can call Ford's complaint line. I've heard a lot of people that have called them, and the complaint line has pretty much said there's not anything they can do because they are an independent from Ford. And I found out this week with a lot of our people that have reached out to them. They have actually, I contacted him and said, "Hey, can you help me out here?" And he says, "Unfortunately, they can charge over MSRP on the Lightnings, even though Jim Farley had said they're going to stop that. They can't because they have an independent contract with them. They're an independent dealer, and so that is something where they can price things where they want to. Just like they have no control over whether or not we price things under invoice when we're needing to try to move inventory. We have vehicles right now that we might have lower than MSRP, lower than invoice, and they can't make us sell it at invoice either. So if you got to take one or the one, you got to take them both together. So just keep that in mind for that. So just that's something that they can do. So and then keep in mind, moderator, if you can help me out. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but I think we got somebody in there that needs to get hidden there. So if we can get rid of that. So here, let me. My computer's lagging here on me. So there we go. Anyway, we'll get that all taken care of. But that's something that Ford can't do anything about there because they just cannot. They're allowed to do that. So that's bad about that, and I don't know why they could do that. You can try to report them. Probably the biggest thing to do, and that you can hit them with, is that you go to all the review sites. Google reviews. You have Yelp. You have DealerRater. That's one guys might not be aware of. Go to DealerRater and get rid of those. You can also go to, of course, a complaint. I would also first, before you have to do that, make sure you're asking for a manager because it may be remember the salespeople are making money off of the sale, so they get paid off of the gross of that deal. So they may say, nope, this is the best we can do, and not even go to management about it because they want to make as much as they can on that car deal. So that's where you would ask for a manager. Said, no, I want to speak to a manager, and you wait there until they go and get a manager. Ask for that manager. Go to, if you need to go, there is a sales desk. Go to that sales desk. I need to talk to sales manager. I need to talk to general manager. Go as high as you need to, and let them know. And keep copies of everything. So if when you ordered your vehicle, you have that order sheet. You get it signed by them. You sign it yourself, and that way you can bring that in and said, "This is what you agreed to when I ordered my vehicle. This is what you need to honor." And go through with that. So that is something that you need to try to do that and see if that works as well. So go to the manager. Sometimes that works. Sometimes the managers are like, okay, they're going to cause fuss and such. Now, if you happen to say, hey, I needed to get this vehicle, so I paid the $5,000 over MSRP. When that survey comes in from Ford, that's where you let them have it. So at that point, you get that survey. And Ford does look at the surveys. We get, if our survey score is below so far a certain point, we lose out. I think we lose allocations. We at least aren't in the running for certain awards and such like that for top dealers. So Ford does look at the surveys. So definitely go out there, put those in there, and tell them exactly your experience. give them that one review, 1 out of 5, and tell them why. Put that in there. They want to hear that. So that is a way, if you did take delivery, that you can get that information to Ford, is by putting that in the survey. So that's something you can do after you purchase a vehicle. If you don't purchase a vehicle, now here's another thing that you don't want to do is, um, if you don't take your custom order, Ford doesn't allow you, that dealership, to sell that to somebody else without an email telling Ford why that customer didn't take their order. So if they ask you, can you send me an email, let me know, that you didn't purchase it for this reason? And if they load your email exactly what to say, that's a red flag for you. And so you don't want to send them an email. Say, nope, you're on your own. You wouldn't sell it to me at the price you wanted to. You're on your own. Because what happens is, if they do too many of those deals, their percentage will come below a certain number, and they will not get allocations, and they will not be able to order vehicles as well. So you need to, they get penalized for that. So there's certain things that, if we've had some that have come available, certain reasons, if they can't get approved, we have to show Ford proof that we tried to get them approved with the different calls that we got from the lenders of why they couldn't get approved. If they bought a vehicle before and they couldn't wait for theirs, then they have to also then show that, usually email us and say, yeah, I already purchased a vehicle. It just took too long to come in, whatever it might be. That's okay as well. If maybe it's maybe it's a deal where I ordered it, but it's for my wife, she's in the household or whatever, and we're both on it, but she's on it first. Then that car deal is going to be in her name first. Then you need to be able to show that it's the same household and that kind of thing. So certain things that that and is acceptable. So you don't want to email the dealer if that you didn't get the vehicle and it was because they marked up the vehicle. You don't, even if you email them and say, yep, it's because they marked it up, whatever, they might be able to manipulate that somehow. So you don't want to just don't email them at all. It's what you probably want to do there. So just keep that in mind. What are some other things? I think that's about it. You definitely just want to do that. The Ford complaint line doesn't seem like it's working right now. They're just basically saying, not much we can do. They're an independent dealer. They can do what they want to do. So, but hopefully, these are some tools for those of you that don't have an order and you're thinking of getting a 23 this summer. Is to make sure that dealership is going to honor those. So make sure you get some things in writing, make sure they sign it as well as you. That's binding. Hey, you're not going to raise this price up on me, that kind of thing. If they say, well, we're not sure what we're going to do, then that might be something where you want to go to another dealer. So keep that in mind. So hopefully those that are, we can learn from people that have had some bad situations, and we can learn from that and help other people that are coming after us, that are ordering a vehicle, so that doesn't happen to them. So anyway, a couple things before I open up to questions here. One of them is that I did want to talk about, the email that went out to Ford. So let me pop this up here. So here's went out to all you people that are unscheduled right now on the Maverick. So this email went out. So it says, being a true maker means that you don't take shortcuts. Actually, that first paragraph is just kind of an intro, hey, we know what you want your vehicle. Unfortunately, strong demand and global supply chain constraints have caused continued delays in that process. These constraints are presenting the greatest challenges in delivery timing uncertainty with the following Maverick optional packages: the Copilot 360 package, the XLT luxury package, and the Lariat luxury package. Second part of that says, we encourage you to contact your local Ford dealer to review your Maverick order specifications. If you have not done so already, your Ford dealer can help you identify features or packages that are subject to these constraints and determine if the removal of certain features or packages in your order can get you your Maverick sooner. And then, of course, they're talking about that we understand this news is frustrating and expected. Timing for your Maverick order is the most important information we can share. We will continue to keep you informed on the status of your order timing as we continue this journey together. Expect another update in June for those customers whose Maverick orders are still unscheduled. So we had this similar thing a couple months ago that went out. So it looks like every couple months they're going to try to notify and let you know there is still a reason why yours isn't scheduled, and then there probably is a constraint on your order. So I've been talking about the different constraints for months now. Several months now, right? What's going to constrain your orders and everything. We have some people that have that we have like 15 orders from July still not unscheduled, and a few from June. And a lot of them have the luxury package on there, which was listed in that email. And I've told them just hold off because I'm pretty sure I can get them scheduled in May. So I'm telling those people June, July, August, leave those on there if you want them. Leave them on there. You've waited this long, leave them on there. I really feel like you're going to get scheduled. But those people that have, of course, I've been saying this for a while now. If you have a November hybrid order, you have a maybe mid-October hybrid order, maybe the full month of October, I don't know, and you have that luxury package on there, you might consider taking that off your order. Now, if you have, an EcoBoost from January and maybe December, you might consider taking that off as well. So those are when we talk about late orders on the hybrid. Late order would be November, October. Late order for EcoBoost would be January, possibly middle December. Although I think you're probably okay in December as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think that's where you want to go. So those people that have a late order, to pull those off. We are going to start seeing these go in order here. So let's go ahead and jump into the questions. All right, review set. Yeah, don't forget to tag the @McArthur now. If you had an earlier question and I have not answered it, go ahead and put that down below, and I'll get to that. So Marcia said, if you go in to the dealership to purchase your order, and they start trying to mark it up, can you leave the dealership and say you need to think about it? It's up to the dealership, so it's really up to them. So you want to ask them, say, you know what, I need to process this. Can you give me the end of the day? Can you give me a day? It's really up to them. If you come in and then you walk away from the deal in a sense, then they could go ahead and sell your vehicle. I heard a really bad story. Really wish I could help them out. Customers ordered a vehicle. The vehicle, they got the notification that the vehicle arrived at the dealer. They went into the dealer. They said, I saw my Mavericks here. And it's arrived." And they're like, "No, it's not arrived, but it should be in a couple days." And so they waited a couple days. And in a couple days, they went in. They said, "Yeah, your vehicle came in and we sold it to someone else. We thought you were going to cancel." So they got theirs sold right out from underneath them. So they really could choose to do whatever they want there. So they don't have to give you time if they don't want to. It's up to the dealer. All right, Steven said, did this email only go to orders that have constraint items? I don't know. I think it went to everybody, is my opinion, but I don't know because I don't have one on order, so I'm not sure, but I think it went out to everyone. It's not scheduled. So basically everybody that's unscheduled, I think that went out to. So if you have an order that doesn't have those constraint items on there and you receive that email, you don't need to worry about it because they're really just focusing on those three. All right, so Justin said, how long are we going to be able to order 22 Rangers? The cutoff is this week. So yeah, I mentioned that earlier. You probably jumped in after I mentioned that. But Ranger order bank closes Friday. Or maybe I didn't say that. Ranger order bank closes this Friday. So if you're wanting to get a Ranger in, you better get that order in. So cool. Probably missed that. All right, so Jacob Drum, I live about from McArthur financing through them, and they help pay for your delivery. Yes. So we do ask that you do that, not at Ford special rates, because if you do 0%, we get nothing to pay for that. So we do ask you to do at the standard rates. All right, in today's Lightning event, Farley teased a new EV truck in the pipeline. Do you think it'll be a Maverick or a Ranger or something else? Maybe. I think it'll be a Ranger. So that's what I think. I think it'll probably be a Ranger. I don't think it'll be a Maverick. My feeling is the Maverick is maybe a little too small to be able to go all electric because it takes some batteries in there, and I just think size-wise, I think it's too small to be an all electric. I could see possibly being a plug-in and having smaller set of battery in there, maybe a plug-in hybrid, but I don't see it being a full electric. That's just my opinion. I think it may be more of the Ranger size, or maybe it's going to be a different one altogether, but I think it'll be smaller. I don't think it'll be, some people are thinking it's going to be a Super Duty. I don't think it's going to be bigger. I think it's going to be, if anything, it's going to be smaller. So maybe Ranger size, maybe it's a different truck altogether. I'm not sure. Although I think they did tease or they did mention when they released the Ranger that they had a version coming in the future, and it made it sound like it was an EV Ranger in the future. So at some point, every model is going to have an EV vehicle that's going to be in there, whether it be a plug-in or a full electric. Every model will have some sort of hybrid, plug-in, or all EV level that you're going to be able to attain. Just like with the Maverick, has a hybrid and a EcoBoost version. All models eventually, Ranger will have it. They don't have it right now. Eventually, the Ranger will have either a plug-in or an electric. F-150 now has both a hybrid as well now as an electric coming. So about all models will. Escape, we're already seeing that. Expedition, waiting for that, so that'll probably happen. Explorer has it now with a hybrid version, and so you can get some of these. And of course, Escape does have a plug-in as well. So all of them will have a version of an electrified there. So I've never been to Long McArthur, and I ordered my Maverick through them, so you can too. Yeah, I'm already thinking about when 23 comes out. We're gonna have it's gonna be a fun day, and I think I'm gonna try to plan something real fun and different for that day, that we can do a live stream on that day. Today, Ford CEO Jim Farley said that a new plant in Tennessee to build another truck that's not F-150. Any idea the truck? Yeah, we just kind of talked about that. Not sure, but yeah, that is a plan. They're going to build. They're going to have one plant that's going to build the batteries, and then they're going to have another plant to build more trucks. I think it'll probably be a combination. They'll probably have F-150s coming out of there, and maybe something else. I'm not sure. Dominic said, "Are the commercial orders being expedited faster than the retail orders?" Um, I'm not sure if you're just talking about light, because we're kind of going back and forth between Lightning and Maverick, but the fleet orders I believe you can. I know right now that if it's a business, then they can only do 10 of those at a time. So they will not schedule more than 10 in a scheduling period from a business. So I know that for a fact. And but when it comes to where they come in line, I believe they just get mixed in with the retail ones as well. So, and I do know that on the Lightning itself, I think the fleet company, if you put it in as a fleet, it actually doesn't show. It actually go to a different site, and they are pulled out separately. They are not put in like the orders that we have right now. If they have a fleet company, if they have a fleet number, they're not put in with all of our other orders. But we do have a company that has several put in there, but they don't have a fleet number. And so they are in there, mixed in there as a retail order in a sense for that. Now on the Lightning, I know that he mentioned it today that they're going to start shipping those vehicles out, starting with the Pro version, which I'm wondering if it's some of those fleet companies are getting theirs first. And that's what's going to roll out first. So I guess we'll find out. But all right, so Atmos said, I didn't get this email. Mine was ordered in July XLT with the luxury package. Question is yours scheduled or not? Because this went out to people that do not have a scheduled build date yet. And I think your order had to have been put in and you got in the first email. If you didn't get that first notification of that your order was submitted email, then you wouldn't have received this one either. Your email has to be in the system. So there's that. So we'll have to see. So Claire said, Tim, is it still possible if you have the luxury package to switch from the spray-in liner to a drop-in liner? If so, would the dealer get that done? You cannot. Both of those are closed out options. So even if you have a luxury package with the spray-in bed liner, the other one is grayed out. So you cannot switch from the one with the spray-in to the drop-in. So you're not allowed to pick any of those. So right now, those are all closed out options. So all you can do is uncheck the option you have. You are not able to go over to the other, just like you can't add a Copilot 360 right now and some of those things. Great question, though. All right, Jacob said, do you guys have any Bronco gear? We can get Bronco stuff from Ford Accessories, and we can get some of that gear and some of that stuff. You can get it yourself. I think it's accessories.ford.com you can go to. There's also Shop Ford Gear. I think if you search that, there's a bunch of Bronco stuff there as well. So you can find it online yourself and have it shipped right to your house. Any news on The first editions have a mid-October order, but only Crickets on an HEA. Well, I do know if it's a hybrid, it's probably coming yet. We have two that are unscheduled first editions. One of them is from June because he had a bunch of extra stuff put on there, which I think will get scheduled this month because we did some changes to his order. The other one is October. So if you have a hybrid in October, I'm not surprised it's not scheduled yet. It's going to probably come along with the other Lariats at that time. So probably due to be scheduled here this summer. Okay, Justin, when do you think 23 Rangers will start production, and will they come with the same 2.3 EcoBoost? Um, okay, so we do have possible dates in that, and so everybody knows too. The Ranger is all new design for the Ranger for 23 is only in Europe. It'll come to the U.S. in 24. So 23 won't be a new redesign for the U.S. And according to this, I don't have any information on Ranger. We might find that out this Thursday. So hopefully next week I can give you some information on Ranger on when the build out is. They will probably, since they are cutting it off, we'll probably get some dates on that. But I do not have any ETAs on how long. Because if we know how long when the build out is, means how long production is going to go to. We know that about a couple months before that is when you'll start scheduling. So for scheduling the 23s, so we don't really know yet. And asked, if I remove my XLT Luxury, could I still get the hitch and spray and bed liner? Well, what you do is you take off the XLT Luxury package and then add on the optional hitch and the optional spray and bed liner. That's how you would want to do that. You can select the spray and bed liner, the optional spray and bed liner. You can select the hitch. Clarence asks, that constraint email that you talked about, was that for unscheduled Mavericks only? I haven't gotten that. Yes, it was for unscheduled Mavericks only. So yeah, if you didn't get it, then I'm not sure what the case is there. But hey Tim, my wife ordered and I'm wondering too, is if they were able to see and dictate if you did not have one of the luxury packages or whatever. You said you did though. All right, did you? Yeah, it may not go out to people that don't have those items on there, but I think it went out to everybody, but I'm not sure. I've ordered a plug-in hybrid Escape a week ago with McArthur. Are the Ford credit offers 0.9 for 36 months going to be available when it arrives? When you ordered whatever they were when you ordered, you can pick those or whatever they are when it comes in. And that's the great thing about that, is that you can say, okay, here's what the incentives are right now, and then what are they going to be when it comes in. So in fact, I can go over here and go to locator here. Let's actually look at an Escape. It probably isn't one at a dealership, but a plug-in hybrid, for instance. Yeah, there is one in our area still in the plant. So if I click on the Smart Vincent on that one, and put that in, I can tell you what they are right now. So, so right now there's, bonus cash of 500 and there's 0.9 for 36. So, if you ordered it, and I think this was the same as it was did you say a week or a month ago? I think you said a week ago. So they're going to be the same. Usually the full month's the same. So yeah, you'd get $500 rebate and 0.9. Of course, it is based on your zip code. So if your zip code is different, if you're in a different region, it could be different than that. But it looks like you will have that 0.9 for 36 and $500 rebate there. Don't know if there's any extra bonus rebate, not on the plugins. Okay, some of the vehicles have an extra $1,000 ordering bonus right now on a lot of the vehicles. See, I actually have an email about that. There are several models have an extra $1,000. Do that. Have that list. Here it is. So these are the vehicles right now that have an extra $1,000 if you order, and it's Mustang, Escape, Bronco Sport, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, Ranger, and F-150. So it does say Escape, but it doesn't say Escape plug-in. So evidently, since it's not showing, Escape plug-in does not get that. So there you go. So if you have one of those and you want to order, you get an extra $1,000, and that would show on that. So when the vehicle comes in, you want to make sure that we select that protect date for you. And we're usually really good at at the desk to select both of them and say, okay, this one would be better for you. Here's what it is now. Here's what it is when you ordered. Which would you like to take? It's your option. Those incentives come from Ford. They don't really apply to us. It's not like we make any money if we don't give them to you. So those are all Ford's incentives. All right, Steven. Oh man, it just jumped. Okay, where'd that go? I don't know if I just jumped a bunch of comments. I think I'm a little behind here. Tim, if you had a hand in the transporter contacting me, you're the best. They will be picking up my Bronco tomorrow, and I should have it by Sunday. Oh, awesome. I actually didn't even know, to be honest. I've been busy today between the earlier live stream and getting ready for this one. Just so if you guys know, I usually spend about all afternoon. I have a meeting that's about an hour, and I spend all the entire afternoon just prepping for this this live stream to make it go as smooth as possible. Not having audio at the beginning, but that's all right. All right, Terry said, hi, Tim. Thanks for all you do. Chances good for November 9th. XLT EcoBoost luxury package. No 360 to be built soon. I would think so. I think a lot of our orders are EcoBoost orders from, I think they from October started scheduling, and I think we're getting into November now. I think that's right now of what's left. And when it comes to the EcoBoost orders, because they were able to build EcoBoost while the others, while they couldn't build the hybrids, they were building, all the June, July, August, most of the September EcoBoost orders already. And since they're building half of the EcoBoost and half of the hybrids, that's a really good case that you probably can get the luxury package. And you're probably I consider that an early EcoBoost order, or right in the middle probably. So you should be good, I would think. I would, at this point, I think I'd hold off one more month and just see what happens. All right. I got the constraint email today, but I was scheduled for May 9th and have a VIN. Okay, so you did get the email today, and you're scheduled for May 9th, and you have a VIN. Well, you don't have anything to worry about, but that's kind of weird that because it actually says that those aren't scheduled to get the emails, so really surprised they sent one to you, but I'm not sure. So, all right, so Pat says if I have either a scheduled date or build date, I haven't gotten any notice of it. You might be scheduled and not even know about it. So because Ford now on the Mavericks, they're not sending out that email when it gets scheduled. They don't send it out until about a couple weeks before the scheduled build day. So you get scheduled to the week first, and then they narrow it down and say, okay, now it's gonna be scheduled to the day. So like there's an order that I was looking at the other day that it was scheduled for the week of the 9th of May. Well, just recently it got a build day of the 10th, which is in the week of the 9th. So once it gets that build day that, hey, it's going to be on Tuesday of that week, usually that's when that email goes out. But that happened on this order, and I didn't get notification, and I'm actually on that order. I should have gotten an email, and I didn't get an email either. So I think their email system is not working really great right now, to be honest. So, but you can still have yours scheduled. And so what you need to do is if you have your order number and what dealership you're with, your name and such, you can call Ford customer support, and they can check on your order and see if it's been scheduled yet, and if it is, they can give you the VIN number and then give you that scheduled week, pending scheduled week. All right, so JR Stan said, Tim, I ordered on October 27th. Hybrid XLT Lux with drop-in liner and moonroof. I received an email on 3/18 from Ford, but not one today. Am I not scheduled yet and no VIN? I am not. Are you scheduled? Again, you wouldn't have an email that you've been scheduled. So again, just like I was just talking about, you might check. Maybe you are scheduled and you're not even aware of it. So you might check. But it looks like to me there are some people that have a scheduled build week, but not to the day, and maybe those people still get receive their email. So maybe if yours is in production, then you didn't get the email, but those that are getting it. But if you're scheduled, there's nothing you need to touch. There's nothing you need to do. Do not make any changes. A lot of times Ford wouldn't take the changes anyway, but make sure you don't make any changes if you're scheduled. Justin said, okay, so 23 Ranger is same as 22. Thanks for answering my questions. Yes, so they released the new Ranger. It was the 2023 Ranger for Europe, and then 24 will get that version here in the U.S. So that's the way that's going to look. So almost positive on that fact. I know when we've talked about it in the live stream that when they released the new 23 Ranger, that it was for Europe. So 24 Ranger will be all new for the U.S., but that at that same year we'll also get Ranger Raptor, whatever. What are the lead times for Ranger and what are the constraints? We don't have a list of constraints right now because this month was a month they were only scheduling the Forest editions. So there was, because of that, they were only scheduling those. They didn't give us any constraint items yet, or this month. But next week I'll be able to share with you any constraint items. They're not going to schedule any other Rangers other than the Forest editions until the week after that anyway. So I'll be at least a week ahead so you can make any changes you need to as we review it next week, because we'll go over that in this live stream for next week. All right. Steven said, Tim, can you check the status of my second Bronco? I think so. Let's look here. Track. Oop. Gotta sign in. Give me a second. M44L. And actually, I think this is your first Bronco, right? Okay, so it is in production. It says it is actually looks like it is waiting on a chip. Boy, yours has the exact same information as mine does. So it is waiting on a chip, it looks like. So it is still sitting in Michigan. So that's exactly, I found out today. Mine is actually still waiting on a chip, has not been shipped out. I didn't have any notification for since March 28th at this point, and did get on a mine is now on a list that said what's called vehicles on wheels, which means that it's not on a rail, it's not in transit, but it's been built and it's waiting on a chip. And yours is probably on that same list. They actually came to me and said, hey, your vehicle's on this list, just so you know it's still waiting on a chip. So it's been a month now with no chip put in it, and it looks like yours has been waiting longer than that, if I remember right. So it is still sitting there waiting for that chip. So we will hope that they get all these chips in these vehicles. All right, so Creative Minds said, would you happen to know how many Bronco Sports are being produced and shipped daily due to constraints? I don't. Although, well, we did actually, I think a couple weeks ago, we talked about production levels, and it's pretty close to, I think, about close to, I think this month it's somewhere in the at least over 5,000, 6,000. It's pretty similar to Maverick numbers, so maybe even higher. So I do know in June, their goal is to produce over 20,000 Bronco Sports. So they are still being able to plug those out. Seems like they're not having as many chip issues with the Mexico plant. That looks like to me. It seems like I'm seeing less vehicles being held up for chips than I am like for the F-150 and for Expedition, for Bronco and that such. Seems like the Mexico plant has doing a better job of getting the chips in the vehicles. So, all right, Gary said, hey, Tim, hold on, I just skipped and just lost it. Wow, I'm way behind. Give me a second here. All right. Tim, aren't we price protected by law, McArthur? Yes. Called today to drop all my hybrid Lariat Sparkles. I got my updated order sheet and noticed price increases on the base cost luxury package and 360. Yes. Okay, that is correct, because price protected means you take your original order sheet and we honor that original order sheet. When you make any changes between now and then, we look at that order right now, it's going to show the new prices. And that's why we tell you to keep your original, we keep all of our documents and all of ours to the original sheet, because you will, just like when it comes in, Ford's wording is they will not re-invoice a vehicle, which means it's going to show the price increase. And price protect means that we're going to then honor the original pricing. So you want to make sure you keep your original sheet as well. Just for your benefit, we will keep a copy, but just to make sure, you want to keep your copy from your original order. And what we'll take is, let's say, just like with this one I showed earlier, on this one, let's say right here. So let's say your order was like this, and let's say this particular customer, and you said you dropped some things off your order. So you have this order. If we removed this Copilot 360 package of 540, right? We want to still use this original sheet, and then we just know that that price is going to be whatever. I can't see it now; it's too small on my screen here. So it'd be 24,315, and then we would do our math and subtract 540 from that, and know that's the new honored price. Now, if we were to print this, take that item off and then print it right now, it would show that the base price is 22,360 now, not 22,280. And that's why we want to make sure that you keep that original sheet. So, yeah, Ford is still going to show the price increase on that. So hopefully I explained that well there for you. All right. Please start your question with all McArthur. Yes, because I'm only looking right now. I'm so far behind. I'm only looking at those there. So. All right, Gary asked, I have a 120 order, Eco XLT hitch, received first email, not the second. Does this mean it could be scheduled? If you received that first one but not the second, there's a possibility that it is scheduled. All right, Suresh says, hi, Tim, thanks for all your great videos, no problem. I ordered EcoBoost Maverick Lariat in Toronto on November 23rd with all packages, no build date yet. Any idea? Okay, did you say Eco? Yeah, Eco. Okay, November, probably pretty soon. You probably see it being scheduled. We hope. I mean, it really depends on some different things. Now it's supposed to not matter what dealership you're with anymore, right? You're supposed to go in order. But I would think, being an EcoBoost order in November, you're probably looking, a month out, probably maybe in the month of May getting scheduled or maybe June. All right, JR said, do you guys have any Bronco Sport getting scheduled this week? No. I think we completed all of our allocations last week. I think we're out of allocations, and Bronco Sport's not scheduling this week. Eric said, when is the soonest I can order from you guys? I have giving my dealer, whoa, okay. So I'm trying to hold my spot here where it's at, and then I messed up. Okay, here it is. Okay. I have given my dealer $1,000 non-refundable and only get the runaround. Never got an email from Ford. November 15th order. Depends on what vehicle you're talking about. Of course, the Maverick is closed out for right now, so August is the earliest that we can order. If it's on other vehicles, if it's the Explorer, Expedition, Ranger, you have to order this week. Certain depends on what it is. F-150s orders we can still do. Edge we can still do. Machi's closed out. Mustang we can still order. Bronco Sport we can still order. Super Duty's closed out, so it just depends on what model you're talking about. All right, Greg said, when was the email sent? EcoBoost with luxury package. It was sent today. The email was sent today. All right, Blanca said, I received the same email and have a VIN. So okay, so they're inconsistent. So some people are getting them, some people aren't. So I don't know. Tim, just curious, can you check status of my other? Yeah, we actually already did that. So I'm behind on my on my questions here. All right, Jim. The last couple of emails I received from Ford were from a different email address. Was in my junk spam folder. Oh, there you go. All right. All right. Customer service number. Oh, customer service number is 1-800-334-4375. Let me type that in there. 800-334-4375. I'm having some major lag issues. There we go. There. All right, Tim, that's what we were talking about. You and I are in the same position. Yep. All right. Stephen Moss said, my Raptor says it was shipped 9 days ago. How long does it normally take to be delivered to the dealer? I did confirm that it's not being held up by any chip issue. 4 weeks typically is a good guide. I think they usually give a window of 3 to 4 weeks. For most of ours, it's usually that right around 4 weeks. And I'm caught up. Hey. All right. And we're caught up. Usually aren't caught. I usually don't catch up this early, so I'm gonna have to. You guys are gonna have to Here we go. Can you share if a retail order gets converted to stock, what the markup is on the Bronco through Law McArthur? Three dealerships here in Mexico are charging 20,000. Um, it's usually, I mean, we had one that was like 10 and it hasn't sold. And again, we adjust our prices just like with Bronco Sport. That seems like the market has been on the Bronco Sport has been about $10,000 over on even the Bronco Sport. Which is kind of surprising. But we noticed recently that they're actually lower now. So we just lowered our prices on the Bronco Sport. We'll see that as reflected tomorrow on our website. Again, we adjust ours to the market. We don't want it. We haven't sold any Bronco Sports this month, and we just received the three that we got in, but we haven't sold any Bronco Sports this month. So we're like, we need to have some Bronco Sports, in the books and such. So we just lower the prices on them. So we adjust ours accordingly to the market. We go to eBay kind of as a reference out there and see, okay, what are people trying to get, sell those for? We can actually see closing auctions on eBay and such. So we usually go there and see what some of those vehicles, the vehicles like that, like your Bronco Sport, and those Raptors, and what they're going for, and we adjust our prices accordingly to that. So, um, but but we also don't want them to not sell, so we will adjust them that way. But for us, I think 10,000 over. I think we have one that we have like 7,000 over right now, and I said, like I mentioned, the Bronco Sport is we've just lowered those to 7. So, all right, Luke said, place an order XL Maverick EcoBoost on January. I really need the rear window, but I can't because the Copilot is it possible for me to have the rear window. Um, Okay. First of all, on the XL, disregard any of that, what it says. Because I'm telling you, on the we're seeing around here, if you have an XL Copilot 360, that is not a constraint on an XL order. I think the focus is on that. If, in fact, for me, I feel like that the constraint on it is more of the luxury package than it is a Copilot. If I were you and you didn't have the luxury package but you had the Copilot, I would definitely keep it. Um, I wouldn't mess with that. Copilot isn't really as constrained, even though they included it. It's not really as constrained, and they're more likely to give it to an XL than they are any of the others. Just for the fact that on an XL, getting that also gives you power mirrors, also and some other things. And I know you want the sliding rear window; it requires that. So that's why you wanna go ahead and keep that the Copilot 360 package on an XL. That's my take on it, and I would leave it on. I know you have a January build, but I'd wait at least another month or two. Again, they're going to even schedule into the reason they're going to send another email in June is they probably will schedule July for September build dates. So they're 2 months out. So if their last month that they produce is September, which it really should produce in October, they're going to schedule in July. So you still have May, June, and July, 3 more months that they're going to schedule for. So I would probably wait at least another month and see what happens. And maybe the turn of June, maybe be thinking about it if you don't get scheduled by then. So, and maybe even you'll probably be even more in June as well. So, all right. Okay. Any ideas on when Wave 6 F-150 Lightning getting built and delivered? That's a great question. I know that I have a June 13th build week for a Wave 3. So I'd assume Wave 4 is going to be probably the next 2 weeks after that, or maybe into July. So I'd probably say Wave 6 is probably August build dates, would be my guess at this point. All right. So we say, see Bart's message above and pick up a quart of milk and a loaf of bread on the way home. I didn't look up there because she doesn't know the rules to tag at Law McArthur. So she probably did message me, but I'm sure it'll be on my text messages when I get done. But thank you. Thanks for looking out for me. Even if it was a joke, that's funny. All right. All right, so Pat's saying good night. Let's see, Eric said, I'll be ordering a hybrid Maverick XLT Copilot from you in August if I don't hear anything from my dealer by then. Yep, we are getting a list. Basically, what we're doing right now is there's several of the sales guys that have a list of customers that want to order in August. I have a list of over 20 names. I'm accumulating a list. Our coordinators in our call center also have a list of people. And so our plan is that we're going to compile those together and I'm gonna try to communicate via an email. So I'd like to get, if you're gonna plan on doing that as well, we're gonna try to communicate with the customers out there. I'll be doing videos anyway on it as we learn more and more as we get closer. But as soon as the order guides are available, which I think that might hopefully be out before the orders are taken, so you'll have a good idea of how you want to order your vehicle, and then we'll take those orders. But yeah, so that's what we want to make sure we're communicating, so that way we're ready to punch those orders that day. So it's going to be a busy day for us. We know a lot of people are kind of pent up on this, and they really want to get a 23 Maverick, and so it's going to be a big day for us. So yeah, so definitely will be a fun day there. So. All right. Zach says, just curious as to the general standing of hybrid Lariat luxury packages. Is there a general consensus as to what orders are taken care of, as in are all of the June, July orders completed? Ford said that they were going to, it didn't matter what dealership and allocate, and um, the dealer still needs allocations for the order to be taking. But what they said was they're going to go by the dates, and so what they were planning to do is to go to that route. Well, we had 40 of ours got scheduled, and we had 43 allocations left for this for the month. And I was looking, and a bunch of our XLT luxury package orders from June, July were getting passed over for some other non-luxury package vehicles, and I'm like, so I emailed our brand manager, and actually it was in my notes to tell help you guys out there. Maybe reach out to your dealers, and maybe they can do the same thing. But I said you can't overlook these June, July orders. They need to be scheduled, and I plan on doing the same email this month because we have 15 left from June, July. All of them had the luxury package. I don't think we have any Lariats with the luxury package still left. All of them are XLTs. And I'm going to make sure those 15 get scheduled first. So I'm going to make sure that they know that. Say, hey, can we make sure these 15 get taken care of, and then we can focus in and let's get the August and September hybrid ones. Our EcoBoosts are going just fine. They're not really getting delayed. I think we're up to most of November, and we're actually almost into December when it comes to our EcoBoost orders. But it's those hybrid ones from June, July that really need to get scheduled. So Eric, welcome to the Law McArthur crew. I appreciate you joining here. And don't forget to send us your mailing address so we can send out one of our notebooks out to you. So make sure it's a welcome gift for being part of the club. It is an exclusive club. Yes, it is, right, Bowles? So, by the way, I got your hat, so I love it. Thank you very much. I actually ordered one just like it, so now my son and myself both have one. So I really appreciate it. So. Thank you, Leland, for being in and joining us. So, and probably it's about time, unless you guys have some other questions. We can end the stream, whatever you guys think. Anything else? Quiet. Crickets. Any other questions on? Well, really, I mean, we have one more week, so this Thursday we will have, of course, we'll be live streaming Thursday night. We will get information on the what they call wholesale, which means the production information that you're going to be scheduling for May, for whatever production cycles that's for. We'll get information on that actually on Thursday afternoon. So if you're coming in on the Facebook Live on Thursday, if you ask me some questions, I might be able to clue you in on those. But otherwise, we'll talk about it next Tuesday night. So that'll be pretty much our topic of Tuesday night. We'll be going over any information that we gather from that. So, Tim, can you ask Ford to produce my 619 hybrid order with Chapman? Yeah. Here's what you need to do is you need to contact your person at Chapman and say, hey, this worked for Law McArthur. Can you try this? Can you let them know that my order is still unscheduled from that, and see if they can focus in on the June, July's. It seemed to work for me. I mean, the brand manager didn't confirm that he did anything, but I think it at least made awareness that that we had June, July orders there that were being overlooked. So at least made them aware of that. And for us to have a special scheduling, I mean, I think it was a special week. They were scheduling last week for the weeks of the 13th and the 20th, and our schedule, not only did they schedule on a Tuesday, but they scheduled for the week of the 27th, which is not even the weeks that they planned on scheduling for. So that tells me that I did make them aware of something, and because of that, they made sure all of those orders got scheduled. So have them try that. Reach out to them over at Chapman and say, hey, I know McArthur had mentioned that they actually contacted the brand manager and gave them order numbers of their June, July orders. And then, I mean, we had 41 of our 43 came from the month of June and July. If that tells you anything, so see if that works for them. So see if they can kind of focus in on those, because I don't know why they may be getting overlooked, but you know, have them try that and see if that helps out. So, all right, Deb, have a good night too. All right. Can you explain blend date? I can't be honest. Oh wait, I skipped one up here. Will max tow package negatively impact range on Lightning? No, it should help the range, because what max trailer tow package is going to give you is extra cooling, so it'll help those batteries stay cool. The cooler they stay and cooling those off, not getting overheated, then the range will be better. So having the max trailer tow package will help your range on your Lightning when you're not under load. So the reason they want to include that and they want you to get that to be able to tow more is that you need to be able to cool those batteries off so that it can tow and not hurt your range, right? But also if you don't have anything in there, you want to add it on there so it helps cool it down so you can get even better a range on it. That's why even though I don't plan to tow over 7,500 pounds with my Lightning, I put it on mine because extra cooling, especially in the summer, is going to help me get better range. And then Shane, you did say, can you explain the blend date? I'm not sure what blend date means, to be honest. I know there's build date, blend date. I'm not sure. It could be the date it's going out. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but maybe I'll try to see if I can figure that out. There's something else I was trying to get information on that someone had asked me about, and I have not had a chance to do that. So maybe I'll try to get an answer for you on that too. But Google it. Might be out there. They blend date on a forward order. See if it, you never know. There's all kinds of stuff out there on Google, right? Rich said, I believe you are in wave 3 for Lightning as well. Any educated guess on when our build date or delivery date might be? I have a build date of June 13th, and I did not get an email that told me this, but I have access to our system, so I was able to look. So you might take your order number, if you have the order number or your reservation number, and call Ford support and see if they can look yours up. You might have a scheduled date. In fact, I bet you do. Great information as always, Tim. No problem. Thank you. Blanca said, thanks, Tim, for everything once more. Have a great week. All right. Sounds like everybody's leaving. We've dropped down. Not sure if this has been mentioned. April 27th, 4 p.m. Um, PDT Discover your Ford Maverick pickup. Okay, so yeah, they do every once in a while. It's Discover your Ford. In fact, I did see notes that they added the Lightning as well as a couple other vehicles recently to that. So you can go to, I think it's a Ford owners.ford.com. Put in your vehicle. If you have your VIN, you put your VIN in, and they'll actually show you. They do Discover Your Ford, and they have different, like every week or every so often, they'll do a Discover Your Ford, and they'll tell you things about your vehicle, which is really cool. And if you're wanting to know too, I actually put together a playlist on our YouTube channel of some things for the Maverick. So I have a Maverick. I think I called it home delivery or remote delivery. That's what it's called. Remote delivery for the Maverick. And I have several videos in the playlist together on the Ford Maverick, so you might check those out. If you have a Ford Maverick and you want to maybe something that maybe your salesperson didn't cover, or you got one from us, check out those videos. So it's Maverick Remote Delivery playlist on our YouTube channel. So check it out, and you can learn a little bit of information on the Maverick there as well. Any word on the numbers on the window sticker as to a build date and order? That's the other one, Clarence. I was needing to check on that. So I want to check on this blend date as well as those dates on the window stickers. So, so I just have not had a lot of extra time to do that, and so I will try to get that figured out here. I am a little ahead on my videos. I think Sarah has 2 to edit for me, so I'm a little ahead. So maybe this Saturday I can kind of work on some of these other things instead of recording videos and get that taken care of for you guys. Rich asked, McArthur or your Lightning Is that the build day or just the week? It's just a week. I don't have a build day yet. Well, let's look. I don't think I do. Yeah, it's too far out to get a build day. It's usually a couple weeks prior to, so I wouldn't have that until sometime in May. So, any other questions? Nope, nope, nope. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in here and joining me and allowing me to answer your questions. And don't forget, fordvideoguy at Gmail. If you have any other questions that I can answer for you down there, if you're wanting to work with us, get on a list, order a vehicle from us, whatever, go to timothybarts@gmail.com. Plus, you can just call the dealership and we'll get a salesperson that can help you out right away as well. And they can take care of you that way too. And of course, but I'm here to answer any product questions you might have or anything like that, and way of ordering your vehicle, suggestions, that kind of thing. So you can go to the timothybarts@gmail for that as well. So again, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well as smash the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Does help the video out, and I'd really appreciate it and appreciate you guys joining me this evening. And if you are going to be on Facebook Thursday night, come on over, ask me questions, full Q&A for that hour. Come on over and we can learn more that way. One last question from, is it Nelso? Has anyone found out how many fleet Lightnings were ordered? I don't know. And Ford usually will not disclose that number, just like they won't give us a full number of how many Mavericks were ordered. They probably won't tell us that either, unfortunately. But anyway, so thanks guys for joining me. Really appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the next one.